So it is February 11th and I am calling this cycle day 8. If you watched my last video, my update video, what happened was a little confusing and strange. I started a normal period and on day 4 it abruptly ended, and 5 days later on cycle day 9 it kind of picked back up again, but I'm calling that cycle day 1 that happened on February 4th. So I'm calling this cycle day 8. Things are picking up normally now. I've been testing with the Easy at Home all along, and they were almost not even visible, the test line. I've never seen it that light ever in my life of doing this. And so now when I tested this morning around, I don't know what time, it was second morning urine though. It was before 10 o'clock. The Easy at Home wants you to start testing between like 10 and 8 or something like that. But anyway, but it was second morning urine and it showed up a 0.53. So anyway, so it is 1:45, and so I'm gonna go ahead and test again. And this time I'm going to include my digital, so that because it's been so long since I tested, that the digital holder has reset itself. So I want it to calibrate to this new cycle so that it'll be as accurate as possible, you know, when the time comes. And I think I'm picking up pretty fast. Okay, so I just dipped the Easy at Home and the test line's already showing up like right away, whereas all last week and even the beginning of this week, it was not appearing until the very last second. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside and let it finish processing. And I'm gonna show that I'm starting this over again. This I used several days ago and I quit using when I was getting all of those really light lines. So this should be completely new. Okay, yeah. So we're starting completely over with the purple. Okay, and okay, let's go ahead and dip it for 15. 15, okay. All right, so I'm gonna set the timer for 4 minutes and come back and we will see how this reads together. Okay, and I'm sure it's gonna be an empty circle. The line on the Easy at Home is still lighter than the control line. Okay, let's see what the line looks like. All right, well, it's definitely picking up. That's definitely a lot darker than what it was just a few days ago. So that's good. I don't know, I think I might get some dark lines by tomorrow. So tomorrow would be cycle day 9, so I might surge maybe even tomorrow or cycle day 10 on Sunday. Okay, I'm hoping for something. I'm hoping for at least a flashing smiley face. I would love to jump straight to surge. Okay. Well, okay. So that is looking pretty good. Okay. It's around 9 o'clock, cycle day 11. Okay, so it is first morning urine, cycle day 13. I was hoping to ovulate today, but if I surge today, that's still really good. I took a picture of this with the app and it gave it a 0.73, which once I get into the 70s with these Easy at Home, that's usually when I read a surge on the digital. So here we are with the purple test, and hopefully it goes from the flashing smiley face to a static smiley face. It is cycle day 14 at 2:37 p.m. and I have started to feel very sharp. In fact, I had a very surprisingly sharp stab in my right ovary when I was at the store. So I really hope this is positive. Dang, I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. Let's see what the line looks like. Okay, well, this is pretty much positive if you've ever worked with digital. These digital tests, that is pretty much positive. My next urine will be a smiley face for sure. Okay, wow, I'm excited. Wow. I feel like I'm surging and ovulating at the same time. I'm serious. I know that that's not really in the literature, but I feel like that's still processing. Oops. That's still cloudy and processing. But this is going to be positive on my next urine. I'm sure of it. And yet I feel like I'm ovulating at the same time. Because what I felt in my right ovary just like an hour ago was the exact same kind of ovulation pain I usually get. Anyway, so that would be exciting to surge and ovulate today because the sperm went in yesterday and I really, really want to ovulate as soon as possible. So, okay, we'll see what the next one looks like. Okay, it is still cycle day 14. It is 10 p.m. and I have not yet gotten a positive digital surge. So I'm hoping this is a smiley face. I'm having a lot of activity in my ovaries right now. I feel like I'm starting the process of ovulation. I just can't believe this has been negative. Yeah, I just can't believe this. This is so strange. The line is still looking okay, and then this isn't done, but it's just not anything to shout about. So I don't know. I had my temperature taken this afternoon. I went in for a COVID test just to make sure that my sickness is not COVID. And I came up at a 97, and this is running around doing stuff, and I was at 97.5 or 6 or something like that. I think it was 97.7. So that makes me happy knowing that, okay, tomorrow's basal body temperature should be accurate. So if I surge and ovulate in the middle of the night, which I'm thinking I'm going to have some kind of quick surge if I haven't already, and then I missed it somehow. I don't know how. I'm testing like every 4 hours, it seems like. Just testing like a crazy person. I don't know if I'm having like a quick surge, like if I had a quick surge or something. I don't know. And I've read before about having a surge that's not high enough for the test to detect, but you still have the surge and you still ovulate. So that could be maybe some, the first time ever of what's going on too. I don't know. Okay, this is cycle day 15. This is pretty much second morning urine because I did get up at 4 a.m. and went and did not test that urine, so. And it's about 8:30. So as you could tell in the last clip there, I didn't even want to say anything because I was really upset that it was negative. So, and I sound a little off because I'm at the end of being sick. So that's why I sound this way. Okay, as you saw, I had that last update that I uploaded about the weird spotting and how I started what I thought was a regular period. It was a regular period for 3 days and then abruptly stopped. 5 days later, it's like it was finishing. It was like the tail end of what started earlier that week. So February 4th became day 1 of the new period. So my sperm came. Now this is craziness. There was a snowstorm, like I mentioned in the last vlog, which delayed my sperm from getting here. So my sperm was 7 days late. So it was supposed to leave on February 2nd, Wednesday. It did not get to me until the following Tuesday. The expiration date on the tank was for the next day, Wednesday. So I got it on the following Tuesday and the expiration date was for Wednesday. I wasn't even bothered by that just because of my experience with working with the expiration date from the past, where I have sent sperm back the day after the expiration date. So 3 days later, it gets back to the lab to be put back in their freezer, you know. And so I call the girl at the cryobank and I tell her, hey, you know, my sperm, blah, blah, blah. She said, it's okay. She said, I know for a fact it is safe and good for at least 10 days total. And I'm like, that's great news because, and I told her that, yes, I've experienced that because of sending it back and everything. And then she told me that she has also seen tanks come back 14 days later. So 7 days past the tank expiration, they have come back to the cryobank safe and sound and put back in their freezer system, their tanks at the laboratory. Frozen solid, still safe in the douar for a total of 14 days. And I told her what was going on. I said, look, I started a new cycle and I don't want to send the sperm back and have them take 7 days to get back when I could have just kept them and used it because I'm going to ovulate by the weekend. So she said, that's totally fine. She goes, what I would do is tomorrow, you know, and I think that would have been, on the expiration or after the expiration by a day. She said to open the tank and take a look at the sperm. Well, I'm like, okay, but I knew there's no way I'm doing that because I don't want to expose the sperm ever. I want to keep them locked tight in the tank and not let any of that vapor out at all. I didn't want to let any of the cold out at all. I didn't show this, but on Thursday, my easy at home in the afternoon in the afternoon testing was a 0.79. And so when I'm in the 70s, that's when I always get my positive digitals. I never got a positive digital, but yet my lines were matching on the easy at home on Thursday. So here's the thing. I inseminated at 2 o'clock, well, like 1:17. It was a little after 1 o'clock. So the sperm were totally in by 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So February 16th was Wednesday. And that was day 7 for past expiration. So I'm like, I've got to inseminate. I've got a flashing smiley face on the purple. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And so the sperm were in by 2 p.m. By the way, here's another thing. When I opened up the douar, the box and everything and pulled the paperwork out. So anyway, I pull it out, right? And I get the sperm, I pull it out, it's frozen solid. I am so happy. 7 days past expiration. And it is frozen solid. And there was so much vapor. I was so happy and glad. Put it on the counter. It's supposed to be on the counter for 3 minutes. While it's on the counter, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get the syringe out, right? I look in the paperwork, there is no syringe. It's critical to have a way to get the sperm inside. That has never happened to me ever. And one of the tanks that I had to send back last year, I kept the syringe, and I kept it in my little mailer slot thingy that I got from Pier 1 a long time ago. And so I've always had this syringe sitting on the kitchen countertop, tucked in with other mail and bills and stuff. I've always had that syringe there. Because I thought, what if someday I'm gonna need that syringe? So I'm like, I'm keeping the syringe. And I sent the sperm back, and that was last year. No syringe in the thing. And my sperm is sitting on the counter, thawing. And I rush over to back into here into the kitchen. Syringe is right there waiting for me after a year of having it. I mean, it's unbelievable. I haven't called them to tell them yet because, you know, I'm going to call. Call and tell them that happened. I like the girl. I don't want... My husband thinks I'm a troublemaker. I'm just, you know, come on, let's get it right? You know, you got to give me a syringe. You can't send me sperm with no way of getting it inside. I mean, if I had looked ahead of time, I could have gone to the store, you know, and bought something. But I never expected it to not have a syringe with it. That didn't stop me. I inseminated. And then Thursday, I got matching lines on the Easy at Home at a 0.79. And my digital was so right there on the edge of being positive. It was so close. But yet I never saw a smiley face. Friday the 18th, February 18th, I had a lot of clear, fertile CM in the morning. And I'm like, wow, what's going on? And then in the afternoon, early afternoon, I had a very shocking, abrupt stab in my right ovary that has always meant ovulation in the past. And if I had not been testing at all with any ovulation predictor kits, I would just go, oh yeah, I ovulated on Friday, hooray, and start my DPO countdown. So I went to the clear blue paperwork, and it actually did say you can have a surge that's too low for the test to detect, but you're still having a surge. I believe I ovulated on Friday, and here's the clincher. Friday evening, the tan brown showed up again, and it was just, it's so slight. Like that happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now it is completely gone. And I'm getting pain in my hip joints like I usually do when I am in my 2-week wait. So today, if I ovulated on Friday, that makes today 4 DPO. And I have no signs of any of that discharge anymore. It is completely gone. I am having all of the same feelings that I usually do when progesterone is working. So I'm going to test. I'm going to start testing, do my 7 DPO. And I mean, if I, you know, even, so if all this brown is perimenopause, and I believe that it is, I think it's that low, when progesterone, or when estrogen is low, I've read, you know, it starts releasing, you know, lining a little bit, or you start to bleed a little bit when estrogen drops. I'm excited, I'm hopeful. I'm kind of like, I almost feel like a deer in the headlights, where I'm just like, what's gonna happen now? And so that's it. So I believe I'm 4 DPO, and I am just gonna test anyway and just see what happens. And who knows, maybe an amazing miracle has happened, because that was day 2. The sperm were in there for 2 days. I have gotten pregnant on 3-day, 9-hour sperm. I had a positive chemical pregnancy from an insemination I did on a Wednesday, and I ovulated on Saturday night, and I got pregnant from that. So, you know, it was only, the sperm were only in for 2 days. So I'm just excited for another chance. So anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for checking up on me. Thank you for your prayers and your good vibes and just your baby dust and everything that you always send to me, and your encouragement and your support. That really means a lot to me. So anyway, that is it, and I will see you, if nothing crazy happens, I will have a pregnancy test video. So anyway, that is it, and I will see you next time. Bye.